high-grade Gundam Age-3 Orbital. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, Gundam Reviews.net, and you've already seen the unbox for the Age-3 Orbital in high grade, and now it's time to take a look at all the parts before it gets turned into a variation of the mobile suit that you're going to be seeing coming around right now. That's the advanced grade. This one promises to be much higher. With the empty plates and the help of the manual that you see there, here's what you're going to be getting. Starting with some legs, you can see some fine details there already. That's going to follow up into the waist, the arms, the thrusters that are going to be attached. You've got that cool detachable chest to go along with the core fighter. Beam Saber is a very cool arcing gun, this little thing to put on the front of the G-Box car. Just kidding. And you've got a nice custom action base stand. Now you may have heard in part 1 that I'm a huge fan of the design of the Orbital here. And that's all down to the, well, it's not just down to the legs, but the legs have to be one of the best parts for me. So to kick things off, usually the legs are a little anticlimactic, but I'd say it's the opposite here, thanks to the details that Bandai is going to include. First of all, you've got solid rotating hips up there. You can see that you're going to be able to move the hips up and down and the knees. You're going to have a chunk of gray back there, but you're still going to get a decent bend there, I'd say 135. Big chunks there in terms of the front knees there, but you're going to have the bonus of yellow seals. It's sort of disappointing because we've got so much yellow plastic elsewhere, but then again, these color details are really reminiscent of the Double Zeta, which had color all over the place, all the colors of the rainbow in all sorts of places down there. But instead, you're going to have a little bit more understated gray. It's going to be provided in seals, not in plastic. You can imagine the master grade is definitely going to remedy that. Lining opportunities there, but it's when you take a look at the bottom and the foot specifically that this thing really shines for me. You've got this red part which is going to move back and it just adds a little bit of color there. You're going to have these great looking circular parts there that are going to look good, and in terms of function you can see that the ankle is just going to pop right down there, and when you do that you can take the toe, go ballerina style, and pop that back up, and when you do that you're able to put this down and you're going to have a very nice smooth connecting point there. Seal it up with the red, and they're even going to give you the bonus with the focus that's going to be on the soles of the feet, that they're going to provide that in gray seals. Definitely one of the highlights for me. And when you think it can't be topped, you move on to the waist section, and normally again it's not all that exciting, but just look at the color details that are going to be on the front. You could not imagine this just a few short years ago. First of all, on the back you're going to have gray thrusters in there. You could go in there with some black Gundam marker if you really wanted to line it up. You can attach the rifle on here with just some edging opportunities there, not pure lining. You can see that you're going to have the hip is going to move around there fully 00 style. Tons of posing possibilities. Pop off the cap if you want to put in the action base, which is included. But then it's time to take a look at the side skirts, which sometimes can be a very boring. But instead here you're going to have two separate pieces of yellow that you're going to put it on the top. They could have put one on the inside and provided some yellow there, which would have been even cooler. But nonetheless, if you just see how small and detailed this yellow part is on there, I'm not too crazy about the way the lining shows up. But then moving on to the front, you can see great details again, and non-independent moving front skirts, but just the fact that you're going to be getting the white, red all over the place, and it does look like you get that little bit of black. You don't have to go in there with a lining marker. This is fantastic number of colors and small parts for such a seemingly inconsequential place. The chest is going to be a repeat of the normal, so you can check out that's review if you want to see it in more detail. Shoulders are going to move up and down. You can see where you attach the core fighter onto the back, and if you want to take that cool looking part here, that's going to have the yellow and the gray and the seal in there for the old school age system. You can just drop that right in. Before moving on to the awesomeness that is the arms, you pretty much everything that's custom for the Orbital, legs, waist, and arms are just fantastic, I'd say. You can see here that you're just going to be able to attach the shoulders on there. This is going to rotate around as you'd expect. You're going to get a bend there of 90, and then you're going to get the full 180 if you want to bend it up there. Well, pretty much almost 180. But it's more the rest of the details. You have blue cuffs here, which is a little bit surprising. You'd think that they would have changed the colors. I'm trying to think back. Double Bullet had red down there. You'd think Orbital would. But the blue is going to look cool, more than I'd expect, with this red part on there, because the details that they provide, again, fantastic. The first thing the pros do when they take the inside of skirts is put in some gray putty and fill it all in. Bandai's doing it for you with the gray part there. You can see that you're going to have the attachment point. Beam sabers are going to be attached in there, which are going to look great, but just the offset of the white, the gray, and the red that shows through from the front. So you're going to see the blue and the red there. All these nice little touches, and even better on the back. Brown lining to go there. But up to the shoulders, just because the forearms are great as it is. And you're going to have seals there, so that's a little bit disappointing, I suppose. But you're also going to be getting chunks of plastic in the form of these white parts down here, which are just going to look great. You can imagine that this would have all been seals, white and black, a few years back. But you're going to have these red parts on here, and these are going to move up and down. These yellow parts are not seals, but you can put the black seals on the middle, or a Gundam black marker would take care of that for you. But the white, the red, the black combined with the red, so many details, and I haven't even gotten to the thrusters yet. Same idea, the Pro-esque filled-in gray parts there, to go along with the fact that you've got this, a little bit of movement, although not all that much. It's going to move up here, and then you can rotate it around, so when I say not that much, I mean it should be plenty sufficient for any kind of dynamic pose. And you've got the yellow parts down there with some lining opportunities. This is just going to slide in and look very busy, and definitely draw the eye up, away from the already cool-looking lower body. And if thrusters and color galore were not enough, well, take a look at the Sigmaster's rifle, which is not going to provide anything fancy in terms of colors. Lots of lining opportunities. I went with brown there, but it's more just the mechanics of it. They are going to make it nice and cool that you can move the handle around. You can also move it that way if you want to attach it into the waist section, as you saw. And you can fold it up here, so you can actually have the gray parts on the inside. So even though a little bit disappointing, but it is going to have some nice lining opportunities. I wonder what they do with this in Master Grade just to sort of improve on it. The core fighter, again, the same as the normal. You've got the thrusters that are going to move around. Nice yellow parts there in terms of the plastic. Black seals, though, with some nice shiny silver, at least on the inside. These are going to move around. You've got this gray part there that you can attach the head into for the transformation. These parts here are going to rotate. And something that I do, and I'm sure there's lots of other people that may have a better idea too, is just when you've got your sticker sheet, it's got all that shiny silver all over the place. Seems like a bit of a waste because they give you a clear green part and it's not going to show up all that well. So you can just cut out some silver and then put that on the inside and bring this to life a little bit more. And remember that they're also going to give you this variant that you can put on the front of the Viper when it goes flying around and use this as an attachment point. And with those extra manipulators, you can take them and put them below on this. You're also going to be able to turn this around here, whether he's in MS or transform mode. You have this part up here, as they are going to give you these little tick marks, and this is going to sit in there nice and solidly depending on what angle you want to display him at. And I do like the fact that this is removable. It seems like they didn't do a good job of that advertising on the box. They showed it on when they're showing off the MS mode. Seems like you just want to get rid of that, but it is again cool. They're not going to give you options in terms of putting this on. It looks like just a couple, but it's still much nicer to have this option than not. Then don't forget you've got SB9s there, 2 of them to go with the beam sabers that fit into the forearms, a closed left fist and a dynamic left fist as well. And a head that I think really cannot miss. Black lighting opportunities over there, some edging on the mask. You've got the red goatee, the red under the eyes there thanks to the seals. And you've also got that great red jewel up there, this fancy little blue part, and the yellow V-fin. Outside of the fact that it's plain on the back, who really cares? Because all eyes are going to be on this, if not the rest of its whole cool body. So you can probably guess that I am very impressed with the build. Tons of fun to put together just because of all the interesting engineering. And just the fact that this is, yes, it's going to be a repeat of the things that we've already seen for the normal, as we've gotten used to building a couple of Age 2s and 3 Age 1s already. But this one is more than offset by the fact that these other parts, including the waist, the arms, the shoulders, everything is so much fun that I just can't wait to put it all together. So stick around for that and the transformation, and as always, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Yes, I was raving about the Age 3's legs, but is it going to be able to take the title away of best legs from the high grade? Needs more clanch.